Welcome to our weekly reading where we explore all things astrological. We hope you're doing really well and staying safe out there. From our two different points of view in two different locations in the world, we bring to you a unique astrological perspective on what is happening right now across the globe. So here we go. Hi everybody, this is Diana in LA and Cary in the UK, and we're here to talk about this week's stars. And boy, do we have another week again coming up. Last week, we had a little reprieve, a little window where there was a breather, I called it, of getting our balance back, of a little bit of hopefulness, and slam, we're back in again, right back where we were before, except even more intensely. We keep talking about this intensification of the stellium with the square to Mars, and now this week also with Mercury. So there's so many conditions that are stressful this week. So get ready for a wild ride because we're on it. The good news is it's the autumnal equinox as well. Equal day, equal night, all around the world. This is an important time to get balanced as we move into the sun sign of 0 degrees Libra, which begins Tuesday, which is also connected to when the equinox is. The equinox in the autumnal cycle is at 0 degrees Libra. So here we go. What a week we're entering. Cary, what are you seeing on your side of the world?
Well, we had a bit of relief last week, but there's no relief at all this week. This week is going to be a very challenging week, and I noticed something which was really interesting. We've got a massive T-square taking place this week where you've got the opposition of Mercury to Mars, both of them squaring the stellium. So you've got Mercury communication, Mars energy in opposition, squaring the stellium. What's really important about this week is the degree of where Pluto is at this moment in time. Because Pluto is at 22 degrees Capricorn. At the beginning of the year, if you were to do a chart on January the 1st for 2020, there was 6 planets all in Capricorn, all conjunct. That set the flavour for the whole year, and all those planets were going direct. Pluto at that time was 22 degrees Capricorn. Pluto is now 22 degrees Capricorn, and it's retrograding with Saturn, with Jupiter. That stellium is being challenged by Mercury and Mars. So Mars being the planet of energy, Mercury being the planet of communication, the planet of travel, and they are squaring that stellium again, but in a more finite way and stronger way than they have for the whole year. So it's no coincidence that here in the UK, we are 24 hours, maybe 48 hours away from a second lockdown. That is what this stellium is all about. And this is now the crux of the year, astrologically, with regards to everything that's taken place over the last 9 months. And we have now got to ride this out till October, where all these planets start to go direct. But in the meantime, there will be some little light relief along the way, but it's going to be very serious.
Right, and as the week progresses, that square to the opposition of the stellium keeps tightening and tightening and tightening till it gets to Thursday, where Mercury opposes Mars exactly, and then Friday, the moon conjuncts the stellium. So what a week of news is going to be coming in. It has to do with Mercury and exposing information, putting it out loud, saying things out loud that we're thinking. Mercury is still in Libra this week, but on Sunday it goes into Scorpio, which that will be very interesting too, because as it moves into Scorpio, it gets more secretive and mysterious and hidden and things not seen. So we're moving into a whole nother attitude of communications as we get nearer to the elections and as the fall keeps moving into the winter, so towards the end of the year. And so this ever tightening screw is happening. And there's going to be much news this week that will be surprising and revealing, and hopefully will bring us to higher awareness around the world as we start to all look at this information together of what's actually happening around the world and be able to work with these energies. But it's not going to be a comfortable conversation by any means, because Mars is involved. And so that means Mars is activated and hostile and wants to make things right and it's from its own point of view. And unfortunately, in our divided world right now, everybody's kind of feeling the same way on the other side. So the equinox, right? So here we are, equal day, equal night. It's such a teacher, right? Of coming into balance in ourselves, to work in that Libra energy as we're moving into it this week on the equinox. We can find our balance again no matter what the outer circumstances are. And there are some doozy outer circumstances coming this week.
You know, the retrograde of Mars is actually making this a lot more these aspects a lot more challenging. And if you take, for example, the death of Ginsburg in the United States and what that represents, if they rush through a replacement before the election, especially after last time when Obama was stopped by doing that, that could have repercussions in the United States in a very strong way. So this is the kind of time where this kind of action can take place, because everything's retrograde. It's not straightforward. It's kind of muddled. The opposition of Mercury to Mars makes it even more muddled. I mean, if Mercury was retrograding now, it'd be even more challenging. But thankfully...
Well, that's coming.
Well, it is coming.
Not this week, but it is coming.
We'll save that for the next couple of weeks.
That Mercury acting as a catalyzer to things is going to create a lot of subterfuge and nefarious activities. Things that we can't see are going on. And everybody is well aware of that. But it's going to become more. And it's going to become seen in some ways, even though much is still hidden. And as the week goes on, much will be revealed, but much is being hidden simultaneously. As we get closer towards the end of the year, there's going to be more and more of this hidden agendas going on.
What I found interesting was I looked at the president's chart, and he's got Venus and Saturn conjunct in Cancer. I think 18 and 20-something degrees. They are opposed to stellium at this moment in time, and squared by Mars. So for him, it's a very challenging time, both on his relationship front, with close members of his family, and with his relationship with the nation and what it represents to him as being president. Because these times are very challenging for him, although it may not seem that it's affecting him as much as he makes out. But anybody who's going through this kind of transit with the stellium will be feeling this very strongly.
Right, and that's a good segue, Cary, because these aspects that we're talking about that are happening this week affect our lives and affect our charts. And that's an example of how it affects Donald Trump's chart and his life, whether we can see it or not see it. He's being hugely challenged right now, and so are we. And when you look at your chart, where that stellium is sitting, what it's doing to the other planets in your chart will give you a sense of how you personally can work with this energy. Because that, to me, is really the big question, is this stuff's in the air, this stuff's happening around us, but how can we use the momentum of these energies to improve our lives, to improve our awareness, to improve our world in all the ways that we can? And so when we're being challenged like this, it's not, it makes you grow, right? It extrudes from us a deeper awareness and a desire for peace, perhaps, or a better world, perhaps, or happiness, contentment, a sense of security in the world because it's so insecure right now. And it is so insecure right now. But it does create a consensus, right, around the world as we all are wishing for a more harmonious one. And with all this Mars action, and the moon is opposed Uranus now, basically, this Saturday, Sunday. It is hot out there. It is hostile out there. And it is an easy time to pick a fight, get in an argument, polarize even more than we are, and lose our center, because we all have to do this together. We are all in this together, and we all have to learn together, no matter how opposite points of views might be. And so that is part of what I feel the equinox is about too, is that equinox has equal in it. It is about finding balance. So how do you find your balance? Ask yourself that. How do you get centered? Ask yourself that, no matter what's happening outside of yourself. Because in these very unbalanced times, we have an opportunity to get in balance ourselves. And so with that, we wish you a balanced week, even though all of this is happening, and it is. And keep your own center. Keep your emotions in check so that there's not a rage or a fuse that's lit that blows up over here, that we stay centered through these changing, challenging times. And so we'll see you next week. Have a safe week, have a good week, have an expansive learning week, and we'll see you next time.
Stay safe, everybody.